Hello and welcome to another video. In this one we're going to be talking about sixels. This actually came up recently on my stream as I was trying to implement Twitch emotes in a chatbot in a terminal. We didn't quite get it working, but I wanted to show you what the technology is and I guess some of the things I ran into that didn't work so well. But anyway, let's jump into it. Okay, so I have Wikipedia open because it's going to help me explain what's going on today, but we're talking about sixels, S-I-X-E-L, and what it stands for is 6 pixels, and it is actually a really old standard for displaying images in a terminal. And the way it works is there's a particular escape sequence that very few terminals actually implement, and then some like color definition, and then pixel data. And this example sixel right here, displays this image high here. Part of the problem with sixel is there's not that much adoption among terminal emulators, and the actual specification is a little bit buggy in a couple of ways. I'm going to show you some of those ways in a second. First off, most terminals don't support this. So for instance, my terminal here, GNOME terminal, doesn't currently have support for this. They're working on adding it, so it's possible that in the future this will have it. And actually, if I start up, I have a VM that has the has kind of their work in progress implementation of this, so I'll show you that as well. But I want to show you how to get this working with xterm, which is a very bad terminal emulator. I mean bad, it doesn't have that many features. Note that we have to start xterm with this special TI-340 argument. This tells xterm to emulate a VT340 terminal, and this is the terminal that implements the sixel thing. But xterm is also kind of limited. Also, it's incredibly small, and the way to change the size is you right-click with the control key held down, and you change it to huge. Even that's not very big. I'm sorry, I can't make it any bigger than this. This is as big as xterm goes. Also, you'll notice that the icon is buggy over here. There's all sorts of weird stuff going on with xterm. But anyway, I have installed a package called, I think it's called libsixelbin. Oops, sixel. Yeah, called libsixelbin on Ubuntu. And this package provides a thing called image2sixel. And this has a whole bunch of options, but it allows you to convert several image types into sixels. And let me find an image that's on my computer, Twitch chatbot. And if we call image2sixel on, this is actually some of the work in progress code to display this particular emote in the terminal. And if we call image2sixel on this, oh, right. So yeah, xterm only has support for 16 colors, and so if you try and render something that has more colors than that, it kind of glitches out. Interestingly, it's kind of hard to see here, but it actually picks a different color set every time, so it's a little bit weird. We can force this into 16 color mode. Colors equals 16, and then it renders, a little bit better. It's still not perfect, like these colors are off, but that's, a way that you could render this. And the first problem that I want to point out with sixels and why they don't work so well is they don't actually map to cells on the terminal. So when you go to resize stuff, it doesn't work that well. So if we go here and we were to resize down to medium or small, you'll see that they start overlapping the text, and it's really unfortunate. There's actually an unreadable size for xterm for some reason. I have no idea why this is implemented, but it's really tiny terminal. But if we restore back, it's kind of working. You can see that we actually have some artifacting on this one here in these pixels down here that are just gone for some reason. But yeah, it's a little bit buggy. The other unfortunate thing about this is if we run this twice, let's see, yes, head-2 xargs replace, you'll see that they don't stack inline, so it's really hard to make these draw properly. And one way that I worked around this, let's actually just take this command and double it like this. That way we have something like that. So one way that I've seen to work around this is to echo a special escape sequence. I think it's save. And then this should be en. see if this works. Echo dash en 033. It's you. Oh, I don't remember. And then A1 C3. Did I forget an E somewhere? It kind of worked. Is it 1A and not 3C? Kind of. Maybe if it didn't wrap around to the next line, it would work. I don't know. But anyway, there is a way with these special escape sequences. This is the like move up by one line, and this is move to the right or left by 3 characters. Maybe it's supposed to be D instead? No, that made it worse. 5C? I don't know. Anyway, there is supposed to be a way that you can move the cursor around and actually get it to draw in line, but it's really, really difficult. And this is a terminal-specific escape sequence that not many support. It's also possible that this terminal emulator doesn't support it, so that's why it's having problems. But yeah, it doesn't map to cells. It's really hard to do them in line, and it just doesn't really work out all that well. Fortunately, there's a bunch of other terminal image specifications. There's one, the one that I found that works the best is this terminal called terminology. Let's see. Oh. Dang, I must have lost the code for this. But anyway, they have their own. Let's see. Do we have this? Nope, we don't have it at all. They have their own image format here that will output. Actually, I have a little helper thing here, don't I? This here, does this thing work? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, so they have their own special image format that outputs to cells, and so you can see this emote here mapped to 2 cells. And so if I resize this to any size, it's going to continue to work. It also renders it inline, which is amazing. I really like the way that they've designed this. I don't really like this terminal emulator though, but their image format is really, really nice. And I hope that others pick up an image format that's similar to this. I tried a couple others, like Kitty has their own proprietary format, and Kitty has almost all the same problems as Sixel does, like resizing doesn't work. You know, the image gets skewed, there's artifacting, there's all sorts of like weird stuff with that. But this one's really, really nice. Okay, I wanted to show you, type in my bad password there. I wanted to show you my hacked up terminal here. I've put it in a separate VM because it's a little bit buggy. But I do have sixel support working in GNOME terminal. Where is that? In Inthreads code, Twitch chatbot. Yeah, we're working in here. And so if we do image to sixel, emote cache 300, I don't know, what is this? What is this emote? It's the Python. Okay, so there's a few bugs happening here. Is it high color that fixes it? Anyway, there's some artifacting and transparency is not working again. Anyway, I'm in an old branch, so it's possible these things are already fixed, but there's some bugs here. But yeah, it kind of works. I wonder if this has the... Oh, it does. Okay, yeah. So here is the sequence that I was talking about before. So save and then restore. Oh, I had it right. I just had it in the wrong order. So this is one way that you can do inline emotes here. Now, of course, you have, again, another problem with things not mapping to cells. So if you make this, you know, 24 by 24, now it no longer works. And so you kind of have to know your zoom level. Also, if you were to zoom in and then zoom out, oh, you kind of get the problem sometimes. Oh yeah, you can see now it has lost all of its definition there, and now the sizing is all wrong. But anyway, you know, it's kind of a work in progress, so maybe it'll work itself out. But I think this spec is actually flawed, and so this is not actually possible. But anyway, that's the idea behind sixels. I guess one other thing that I wanted to show you is what they look like if you write them to a file. And so you can see it's actually a plain text format with a special escape sequence. So emote cache 3007.png to t.sixel. And I think my text editor should be able to open them. Yeah, so it's basically a bunch of characters for color data, and then towards the end you get the actual, pixels that are mapped to those particular color data. But it's basically a plain text format, so it's suitable for sending over the wire. But yeah, that's sixels. Anyway, hopefully this was interesting. If you have additional things you want me to explain, leave a comment below or reach out to me on the various platforms. But thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Oh, my button doesn't work here. Why not?